there, welcome to our channel. I'm Vic.
I'm Nick.
And we are NV Board Gaming. And today we're going through Kanagawa. This is designed by Bruno Cathala and Charles Chevalier, and it is published by Yellow Games. Nick is going to go through how you play, and then we're going to give our review.
2 to 4 players.
All right, everyone, welcome to the table here for 1840 Kanagawa. Right there, a Bruno Cathala game. So right now we're set up for a 2-player game. To do this, we're going to go ahead and randomly get one of our starting tiles here. It's going to show what we have in our studio and what abilities we have. They are not unique except for the color right there. So in a 2-player game, we're just going to draw 2 cards as witnessed right here. They will be face up, since the tan color right here. Face up 2 cards. And the first player, whoever has the master token, is the first player, so we will say it's this player to the left, is going to decide if they want to take one of these cards. If they decide to take one of the cards, they have 2 options. They can either use the landscape, this side, or flip it and use this side for their studio. In this case, the first player, if they were to take one of these cards, they would have to use the studio, because you notice they just have this mountain thing. But this here, they both show yellow on the 2 that I happen to draw for the sun. I don't have that in my painting arsenal, so I'm going to say I'm going to pass. How about that? I could take these for the studio actions, but I'm just going to pass and see what my opponent does. My opponent has a blue, one of these waves, ocean ones. Well, that doesn't work for them either. Now, do they want the studio? Maybe they want to be first player, but they both have first player out here. If they were to want to end the round, if they were to say, you know what, I'm going to leave school and I'm going to collect this for my studio, well, then my opponent will end up keeping the first player. That's no good. I'm going to pass 2 over here. So what happens is one comes out face up, another one comes up face down because it's the red, and the first player, again, has a choice. Do they want these 2 cards now or these 2? Or do they want to pass? And let's see what their opponent does. Looking at what I have, I cannot put any landscapes down here. This is 2 blue, or this is 1 yellow. But if I draft that or that, I will at least know I get a green. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 and hope that that is something maybe I can build out, or it has a nice thing on the academy. And we'll just see what I can do with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's great. I'm going to put this in my academy because, yes, I lose 2 victory points, but I have a wild here. It can go for anything, so I can build out landscapes a whole lot easier when I have that. And it's just the start of the game, so losing 2 victory points at the end, not so bad. So I'm going to take this and tuck it under, make sure you can see without a glare. I'm going to tuck it under the bottom side of the board. So now I have a spot where I can put my paintbrush that will be a wild. And I could now build this if I want. Let's go ahead and do it, because I'm spending that, which, by the way, these don't leave. I can move them once per turn, but they don't get, I don't just spend them like they go away. But I'll be using that paint. I can't use it twice around, just so you know. And I will go ahead and add to my landscape. So what are you trying to do? Well, you're trying to do several things. You're trying to earn these tiles out here. This is showing what kind of animals you might need in your landscape to claim these. This is showing what kind of different characters. These are showing the trees, and you can see I just drafted one right here. I got 1 tree, so I'm on my way. If I were to get between at least 3, I can claim one of these. Now, the key to these is I have to decide once I achieve that if I want to take it, or if I want to press my luck and go for a higher number that gives me more victory points and or benefits. That is up to you. You cannot backtrack. You cannot say, yes, I completed 3 later in the game after you've completed 3 for a while. You have to do it that turn or lose it, and hope to improve upon your situation and get the higher one. There's no going back. The ones here at the bottom all reflect things in your studio. So how many arrows you have, because these are going to have arrows. They can have these symbols that gives you first player. So if you were the last person to do that, you would get first player in a round. These also will give you first player. So anytime you see that marker, these give you the paint brushes. And these are just a bonus when you get those tiles. So the ones at the bottom all reflect your studio right here, whereas these all reflect your landscape. All right. So at the end of the game, we're gonna keep doing this. Whoever's first player is gonna throw these out again, and they're gonna have first pick if they want to take these or pass. Once someone collects one, your opponent has to take what is left. They can't say I'm gonna pass 2 and get another card. No, you have your opponent went to or left school is what the theme is. You have to as well. So you have to take what was left for you. Also want to mention these are wild tokens, and you can get these as a bonus on a couple of tiles. So you can see that the storm will cover up a feature of the season right there, and it'll be a wild season. So now I have a run of 2 of these leaves, technically. And that matters because end game scoring is going to be your tiles out here. It's going to be your longest consecutive run in the seasons. It's going to be how many cards you have in your landscape. The game will end when someone has 11 cards in their landscape, or when you run out of these cards. You will also get points shown on these symbols. Oh, let me cover that up. I don't know how much glare you're getting, so I'm going to cover that up. In this case, obviously -2, but I'm sure I'll have opportunities to get a lot more points over here. But you're just counting up how many VPs were out here. And like I said, the longest streak consecutive of your seasons. So these are going to build out. I'm going to hope for these symbols right here. Your tiles. Whoever has the master token at the end is going to get 2 points as well. So keep that in mind. And how many you have in your landscape. You're going to keep playing until one of the conditions are met. Most points is going to win.
Everyone, welcome back for the review of Kanagawa. It's funny, we just got a nice Kanagawa painting on our guest room, which looks awesome.
The Great Wave.
The Great Wave. Mm-hmm. It looks so good. It's like 60 by 40. And it looks awesome in our room. It looks perfect with our paint. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Kanagawa, the board game. We've only played it at 2. We played it 4 times. And it's like I would call it a filler game. I would think that's about the length. It says in the box, let's say 45 minutes? Ugh.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think it's less with 2 players. I don't think it's 45 minutes for us.
Yeah, it was bang with us.
Yeah. So once you know the rules, it maybe 25 minutes or so.
Fair.
That's fair. So I would call that a filler game. Not a big table hog as you saw during the teach. I was able to frame it nicely. It felt nice to teach a game that only took like 6 minutes. I don't always have those to teach. I usually have Maracaibo and something. But, so yeah, think of it in a filler category. So you're going to get a score for a filler game. That's the score I'm going to give it. I'm adjusting my score based on the fact that it's a filler. So I'm not categorizing the same as, like I said, Maracaibo.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a great filler. It's beautiful. The art's awesome. Mm-hmm. I like all the consideration you have. I think doing your academy action is just as fun as doing your landscape. I prefer to do landscape, but you're doing some awesome things in your little studio too. You're putting your little cute paint brushes on things to activate that. I don't like the arrow as much. The arrows because I don't think it's that powerful. Just give me one arrow. Just one arrow is fine. The fact that I get more arrows, I don't really need that. I never found myself using that. But then again, I try to get that wild too. So they have a wild one in there, and I showed you that in the preview. That you'll lose you two victory points, but well worth it to have that wild.
Yeah, it's nice.
You can pretty much do anything willy-nilly.
Luxury for sure.
Yeah, a few turns in, you can do anything willy-nilly. And there's a lot of consideration in the game because of the tiles, when to go ahead and go for those tiles, what your opponents have. So you're looking at what they have, what they need, looking at what you need, what's going to give you the most points. So all in all, I really loved it. I'm going to give it a score of an 8-4. So really strong score for a filler game. Really strong score. Pick it up. It's not that expensive. I'm thinking I might score it higher than Vic, but let's find out. What do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. Thought it was really pretty, and I won a lot. I've won a few times. Maybe we're half. Yeah, we're 50%. But yeah, I feel competitive. The games have been always close between Nick and I. It hasn't been too crazy. Nothing of a blowout, and it's just very interesting decisions that you're making in this filler game. Like, you need to think about pushing at your luck. Do you want to see if the person is not going to agree to extend their knowledge or keep studying? If they want to, end up giving up the cards, and you can look at the choice you have to make on the victory point scoring on this card. So you can't go back. When you have achieved it, you make that choice of whether or not you want it, or if you're going to try to get that one extra building or whatever it may be. Thought that was really cool. I like that. And so the game for me was a real hit. I gave it an 8.2. So just a little bit less than Nick. It felt right to me, so really liked the game. Is there anything you didn't care for about the game?
Just the arrows. I think just the
yeah.
arrows. I think it's a good, clean filler game. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something to criticize, but just the arrows is all I can think of. What, do you have something in mind?
No, not really. I thought the size of the game is great.
The
I
board,
mean, it can
awesome. The Japanese theme.
Yeah, and tucking the cards is like kind of satisfying in a way of just tucking them underneath and
Yeah.
building out this landscape and trying to get the matching seasons.
And also something I would love. It has that reveal phase. I mentioned it in Mission Red Planet with the Discovery cards. I mentioned it in the Mind doing the reveal phase. This has that. It actually has that. If you go to any round, like if you have more players, you can do it more times. But there's that card. If it's the red underlay, you're gonna do a reveal phase. Like, what did I get? What did I get?
Yeah, it's kind of
Bingo
fun.
or not? You
I
know?
go for the surprises a lot.
It's
Kind
awesome.
of fun. I think that's entertaining, and the fact that on the back of the card you can actually see what type it is, so you have some idea
It's awesome.
of what may be coming up, but you're still kind of in the dark. You don't really fully know. So it just has a lot of exciting elements for what it is. It's a little game, and it's good in between different heavier games to give yourself a little bit of a release, and it's not too overthinky and very simple to learn.
Yep.
So we had a lot of fun with this game. Thank you so much for joining us for our review. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great videos. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.